Hello students, today you have got political science lecture and today we'll do lesson number 3 in your political science textbook, page number 72. So lesson number 3 and the name of the lesson is India's Defense System. Now you know what you mean by India's defense system, how our country of India is protected. Now let us see what we are going to see in this chapter. In the last chapter, we studied India's foreign policy. So in the previous chapter, we studied India's foreign policy. We have now understood that the primary national interest of country includes defense. So what is our primary national interest? It is a defense and foreign aggression and internal unjust and keeping the borders safe. We all countries have got borders and we have to keep our borders safe. For this, every nation creates a defense system at the national level. So what it creates? It creates a defense system. India has also created such a system. In this chapter, we are going to understand its nature and study the challenges it faces. So we are going to see what challenges are India's defense system is facing. First, what is national security? The international system is made up of sovereign nations. Sovereign nation means what? Every nation is an independent nation. Even if they cooperate with each other, sometimes there are conflict between the sovereign nations. See, every nation or every country tries to compete with each other. And in this competition, what happens? There are disputes. Sometimes fight takes place between two neighboring countries. There are disputes between nations over boundaries or sometimes conflict emerge between them over water sharing. So today, now you might be seeing in the news also how much we are having a conflict between our neighboring countries, and there can be many problems where our countries can have a war. Some of the reasons for conflict could be not following the terms of international treaties. So international treaties, we have to follow sometimes certain rules have to be followed. Constantly competing against each other and influx of refugees. Now who are refugees? Who have left their own country during the wars and taken shelter into some neighboring countries, refugees from neighboring countries. Whenever such a conflict of interest arises between nations, it is sought to be resolved by compromise and discussion. So when a conflict takes place, how we have to solve it? We have to solve by compromises and discussions. But when such efforts are not enough to resolve the conflict, a nation may even think of a war. But sometimes, when we are not able to solve the conflict peacefully, then we think of a war. When a nation attacks another and challenges the sovereignty of the latter, it endangers the security of the nation. So when we challenge another country, then what comes into danger? The security of that country comes into danger. Such challenges are created due to military power of aggressive nations. In any situation, the nation's first duty and responsibility is to keep the security system always well prepared and ready. This is called national security. So if a war takes place, what it is a responsibility of every nation to keep their security system well prepared, and that is called a national security. So our country, our borders have to be secured if anything happens. Now, Ways to safeguard national security. Now, what are the ways how we can take care of our country or of our nation? National security is closely connected with geography. Why geography? Because we have got geographical borders, boundaries are there, the climate, the mountains. So all this we study in geography, and we all countries are surrounded by mountains on all the side, because national security is more likely to be endangered by nations who are geographically closer, and some countries, some borders are geographically closer with each other. A nation must assess the threat to its geographical boundaries and the source of that threat. In order to keep this threat at bay means what? If we don't want a war, the nation has to increase its military might. So every nation, they have to make their military strong. The nation has to use modern technology to predict the threat, to build weapon system and modernize and update the defense system. So we have to have modernize and update defense system. How today India has got latest types of missiles. Resolving conflict by taking recourse to war in order to safeguard national security brings internal peace into danger. So, if there is a conflict, what will happen? The internal peace of a country will come in danger. Hence, some nations try to get the support of other nations to manage the threat to their national security. So, some countries, some nations will try to support and to manage the threat to their national security. Now, India's security system. Now, what is India's security system? India's security system includes the army, the Navy and the Air Force. So, what is India's security system includes? It includes the Army, the Navy and the Air Force. The three forces that defend the country. Defend the country means what? The three forces which take care of a country. The responsibility of protecting the geographical boundaries is on the army, whereas the navy protects the coastline. The air force is in the charge of protecting India's airspace. Now see what these three forces do. Now which are the three forces? The army, the navy and the air force. Now the three forces that defends the country, they take care of a country. The responsibility of protecting the geographical boundaries is on the army. Now, who protect the geographical boundaries? The army. Whereas the navy protects the coastline. So this navy is mostly close to the sea. They see if anybody from the sea is entering into a country. The air force is in charge of protecting India's airspace. The Ministry of Defense control all the three forces. Now, who control all the three forces? The Ministry of Defense. The Indian Army is very big. It is the world's seventh largest. Its chief is known as the general. So, who's called the chief? Chief of what? Who's called the chief of the Indian Army? The general. The chief of navy is known as admiral. And who's the admiral? The chief of navy is known as the admiral, while the chief of the air force is known as air chief marshal. These three chiefs are appointed by the president. And who appoints all these three chiefs? It is been appointed by the president. See here we have got the army, the navy and the air force. Now, the President of India is the Supreme Commander of the Defense Forces. Now, who is the Supreme Commander? The President of India. The Defense Forces cannot take any decision about war or peace without the consent of the President. So, this the defense forces. So defense forces cannot take any decision regarding war or peace without the consent of the president, because the latter represents the civil power. In a democracy, civil leadership is considered superior to military leadership. See, in a democracy, civil leadership is considered superior to military leadership. Means what? There should be no war, and before anything happens, we have to have a consent with the president. Many measures are taken so that all the three defense forces in India's security system are adequately modernized. So all the three defense system should have all the latest types of weapons, or what you can say like adequate modernized. For this, some research institutions have been set up. Many training institutes have also been set up in our country to train the personnel of all ranks of our defense forces. So whoever wants or whoever has joined the all these navy forces or military forces have to go to a very strict training so that they can perform their tasks competently. For example, the National Defense Academy, that is NDA at Pune, and the National Defense College NDC at Delhi, etc. So here there are colleges where, or there are academics where all the military training is being given. So hope so students you have understood till here. Next time we will continue from paramilitary forces. Thank you students.